What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 90s First Podcasting Network. My name is Mike, and alongside my co-host Joe, we take a look at some 90s content that we just can't stop watching. Join us on our flagship show, the 90s First Show. We look at some 90s content that Joe and I are watching, as well as some current stuff, and we end it with a 90s trivia contest. Or join us on Test Your Might, a video game debate show where we battle it out on the current news. Joe hosts as our good buddy Cicero and I try to get the high ground and go 1000 IQ against each other. If you would like to connect with us, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at the 90s First. And finally, if you would like to support us monetarily, we have a Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/the 90s First to show general support for as little as $1 a month. So whether you're listening to the 90s First show or Test Your Might, Joe and I would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope that you have a blessed day. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 90s First Show, where we chat about some 90s content that we've been watching, as well as some current stuff. I'm thoroughly excited to get this episode started. Hey, we got, returning as always, Jelly. How you doing today, Jelly?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing absolutely great. I've been enjoying a lot of 90s content this last couple of weeks. Excited to talk about it.
Awesome. Good to hear. And then our special guest today is none other than Shareef Jackson. You've heard him on Test Your Might, our video game podcast, but Shareef, you're joining us here. How you doing today?
I am. I don't know how I'm going to talk to you guys without being bloodied and bruised from constant testing of my might. Just have a regular conversation with y'all. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Weird. It's going to be, we're not going to be debating at all.
It'll be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. No, I am happy to be on. Definitely been listening to the show and like it. So definitely thanks for the invite.
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Thanks for carving out the time, your busy day. And Shareef, before we do anything, we like to do our plugs right at the beginning because, let's be honest, some people don't listen to the end. So what do you want to plug? What have you been doing? Been busy with Roll20, with other things? What you got going on?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, shareefjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com, or Shareef Jackson on all social networks. That'll pretty much link you to everything. I have a official streaming schedule now, which is kind of crazy to think about. But so Sundays at noon Central, I stream D&D at twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep. We're on season 9.
Awesome.
That's super exciting of that. On Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, I stream Kids on Bikes on Roll20 at twitch.tv/Roll20 app. And that is another RPG system that's in the vein of The Goonies and Stranger Things and E.T. and that kind of stuff. So fun. Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. a video game stream at twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep. Currently playing through Spiritfarer, having a blast with it.
There you go.
Awesome.
And on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. as well, I do my GM prep for Kids on Bikes. So I show people how to build maps, how to build puzzles, how to enwrap different characters and NPCs into your RPG adventure. So that's what
awesome,
I got going
man.
on a weekly basis.
That's an awesome schedule. Check them out. Everybody listening, go hit them up with a follow on those Twitch channels, as well as just show some support by watching. Shareef, I want to take this just a second. And to some of the listeners who already know, I will be out for like a month of podcasting because I'm going to be having a baby with my wife, and I just want to thank you. I'll take this moment and thank you for stepping in for me with Test Your Might. You're going to be debating Cicero with Jelly, doing the.
I'll be hosting, narrating, and yes, emceeing the battles.
So yeah, I just want you to know that I extremely appreciate you and for you taking that time out of your schedule to help us out here. So.
Thanks. Yeah. It's a super fun show. Obviously, as y'all know, I've known Cicero for many years, and So
Yeah, we
and
kind of
we've
like
been
that guy. He's okay.
and and we've been debating since we've known each other. So
I'm very
so
excited to sit
so
side
look forward
ring.
to it. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to all those episodes that I'm gone. And once again, thanks for joining. So,
absolutely.
listeners, let's get into our 90s choice, where we take a 90s show, TV, or show, movie, book, whatever, and we want to talk about it here in our first segment. So, Shareef, since you are a guest, you didn't have time to watch any 90s content, but that's okay. So my question to you is, what is your favorite movie or TV show from the 90s that you want to share about?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like cliche answers. Like I think that you probably hear a lot of the same things going around. Now, my question is this open to animation as well,
Oh
or does that
yes,
have to be
anything 90s, anything 90s.
okay?
What is your favorite?
Anything 90s. Oh, it's so hard. But I think I'm gonna go with one that I think still holds up. I actually recently rewatched a bunch of episodes, and I think it actually holds up really well. Well, I actually rewatched more than a couple episodes, like a couple seasons of it.
All
And
right,
that
I'm
is
excited.
Living Single on Fox. I was big
Okay.
into the show when it came out. It was a big Fox show that was like out in the mid '90s. Just just like four black women, just like living in the city and the hijinks that like went on. It recently came out on like a Hulu where like you can go and stream all of it again, and I've been watching it. And I'm like, wow, this is still a really good show.
So is it
Because the
like a
problem,
sitcom or? Yeah, okay.
yeah, it was a sitcom. So the problem with a lot of '90s shows and '80s shows is when I go back to them, they just don't hold up. Like they feel dated, or they feel like they're a relic of their time, meaning like they were funny and good then, but like if I try to watch them now, like I think a good example is a show like Tiny Toons or something, which I loved.
Tiny
yeah.
Toons, of
I
course.
tried watching it again, and I was like, no,
No.
now, like there are some things that hold up, like Animaniacs, Batman, that kind of stuff for sure,
Oh yeah.
and like Gargoyles and such. But like if
Gargoyles.
I gotta think about the one that like, I think is still relevant, that feels like it was written like today, is a Living Single for sure. So that would be my number one '90s show.
Awesome. I'm gonna
I've
check
never
it out.
seen
I was
that
just
one.
looking at it. It's got Queen
Oh
Latifah in
man,
it,
it's oh yeah.
like
It was
lead role. I was
yes.
like, I just pulled up the cover and it's like, yo, that's. I'm pretty sure that's Queen Latifah. She's so young though. That's so funny.
Yeah, No, this is her when like she was like still rapping, at the time. So like this, was like obviously like the time when the Fresh Prince hit big. So they were looking,
Yeah.
they discovered the urban market, and they were like, oh my god, black people watch sitcoms. They're not the Cosby Show, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
so like I Live in Single, it like came on like right after Martin,
Okay,
Martin was
nice.
yeah.
funny. I watched Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still is a really really good show. Great theme song that like Queen Latifah does. Awesome, awesome song. And and actually Erica Alexander, one of the actresses, she like shared a pretty well known story that like Living Single was the template that they used to make Friends. Actually, they basically took this show and they
Oh
made like
dang.
like a much whiter version and a much whiter version of New York City, and yeah. So
Accurate. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, that's my pick. For
Friends.
All right.
Friends is a very white version of New York City. So a
Yeah,
bit whitewashed.
yeah, which really annoyed me because I grew up in New Jersey, and even shows like Seinfeld and stuff I feel like showed some of the diversity of the city,
Yeah,
but
you have more
Friends
than just.
I mean until Aisha Tyler came on way at the end, like
Yeah,
Friends,
that was
I
season
was
9 that Aisha
yeah,
Tyler was on. Yeah.
I mean, like I remember trying to watch it, and I was just like, this is not New York. Like if they placed this in any other city, I'd be cool with it, but not meeting at Central Park and not even seeing people in the background. Like that to
A
me
bunch of
is
friends sharing a $3 million penthouse up in New
yeah,
York.
Exactly.
All right, so that's Living Single. You were watching it on Hulu, so people could watch it on Hulu.
Now, well, yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because like all the Fox stuff, is
Okay.
on there.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out. That's
Definitely
probably really
check it
good.
out. It is very, very good.
All right, Jelly, what did you decide to watch that you
Oh,
want to share about?
I have been binging X-Files, and I've been waiting so long to talk about X-Files on this podcast.
Yes.
I lost every single time when we had our little weekly voting. We would put it out to the audience. Hey, what do you guys want to hear about? And we just put a poll out. This versus this.
Yeah, this
And
was in our
X-Files-
previous iteration of the
Yeah,
Netflix
X-Files
show.
never won. And it is one of the best shows. I
Agreed.
freaking love this show. I've watched it through twice. At least twice all the way through, including movies. And I can't get enough. And now that they have it on, so I think I was watching on Hulu as well, but I'm pretty sure it's in 4K, or at the very least in like UHD, so 2K.
Right.
And it looks phenomenal. And that's season 1. Like, I went back to the very beginning, season 1.
Wow.
I'm on episode like 6 now, and it looks so good. It looks amazing. But yeah, I've been really enjoying X-Files.
What a great show.
Yeah, I've never watched it, so you guys can
Oh, man.
throw the knives at me right now. Get the pitchforks.
Well, are you a fan of like creepy side like
No,
Twilight
so
Zone type
X-Files
stuff?
is totally up my alley, to be honest. I just never watched it. And you know,
You are in for a treat.
that's definitely something that should be on my list. And it's funny because, yeah, Jelly's totally right. We've been wanting to, or he's been wanting to cover X-Files since
Yes.
episode 1. And we just haven't. So, yeah, to talk about it now.
Sounds like a spin-off podcast, y'all, where Mike watches X-Files for the first time.
Man,
Yo, that'd be so
I
fun.
don't know if I have time for a spin-off podcast. Let's be real.
There's only 10 seasons or 9 seasons,
So-
like 4 movies.
So, Jelly, my question to you is that I do know that there was a recent, like,
The reboot.
new show, like the reboot.
Yeah, it
or
was a
whatever.
continuation, which was really nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a reboot.
Did
It was
did it live up to the hype? Like, was it
yeah, it was 6
was it
episodes.
similar?
6 episodes. They did wonderfully. I mean, they just masterfully done. They picked up
Yes.
right where they left off. We get to continue the relationship with Mulder and Scully, and they introduce some actors that I love into the series that I wasn't expecting, and they kind of switched up the story a little bit. One of them, I think it was episode 2 or 3 of the recent series, was my favorite episode of all of them, including original series. They did such a good job on it, and I will link it. We'll put in the show notes which one it is, and then maybe I'll write something about why. But yeah, it was my favorite. They just they did something different that they didn't usually do in the other ones. And I don't want to ruin it for people who are going to watch it, but it was a twist on their normal episodes.
Cool.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. Good that they kind of kept the same vibe, the same feel, the same atmosphere in the reboot.
I was worried, but they knocked out the park. They did such a good job with it.
Awesome. So for my pick, I've been like looking through some of the different genres of movies, and then picking out a 90s film from that. And so last episode was horror, so I watched Scream, and so this time I just decided to watch a sports movie. And one of the sports movies that I have heard, I heard good things about. I heard that it was one of the best sports movies of all time. Was Any Given Sunday, and I had never seen it. And those people who say that it's one of the best, in my opinion, they're completely wrong. I did not like this movie at all. And my biggest hang up was the camera. Like, I understand that 90s films, a lot of them were recorded with like close-up shots and stuff, but like that doesn't necessarily work in a football game, like a football movie. Like, to me, the camera was almost making me nauseous. And also just for me, like I can handle, language. I can handle certain themes, but like this movie in particular was just like kind of over the top with its language and its and it's just adult themed content for me personally that I just didn't care for. Ultimately, I did finish it out just because the story was a little bit compelling to me, just to see how Jamie Foxx's character, Willie Beeman, would turn out and if he would be the starting quarterback. But ultimately, I just don't think it was that good of a film. Sorry if you guys disagree with me. Shareef, do you like Any Given Sunday?
I do like it. I mean, it's not one of my top, sports movies, but it was a good movie. I thought it was very well casted.
Very well casted. I agree with that.
Yeah, because not only does it have recognizable names, but they don't feel shoehorned into their roles. And I'm a huge fan of Al Pacino as well.
Yeah.
And I think he's phenomenal, but he's almost always phenomenal.
That
doesn't mean that the movie's good just because he is phenomenal.
No, yeah, he was very good in the movie.
Yeah, but I thought it was good. It was it's not the movie when I think of I want to rewatch a sports movie. It's usually not that one.
Yeah,
it's usually, if it's a football movie, it's usually something like Remember the Titans or something.
Yes.
But
my go-to football is The Replacements.
Yeah, that movie's good. Keanu Reeves. That's a good one.
Yeah, or believe it or not, Rudy. I always like Rudy.
Rudy's great, man. I love
and
Rudy.
I'm sure it's whatever. It's not a technically good movie, but I like it.
Well, that's The Replacements is technically not a good movie or a football movie, but it's funny either way.
Yeah. But yes, I do like Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, it was just kind of rough to get through. And I, just the camera really was doing it for me. I just didn't like the way it was filmed. And ultimately just it's pretty adult themed, and like I said, I could get past that stuff, but it was just a lot in that movie. Jelly, thoughts on Any Given Sunday?
As most listeners probably know by now, I'm not a big football guy, not a big football fan. So I have seen it. It's fine. Obviously it doesn't tickle any of my fancy. So I think I've watched it once. I think I finished it. I'm not sure, but I watched enough to know that, I could pass on it. And then, if it's going to be a football movie, yeah, it's gotta be like The Replacements or Waterboy. That's up my alley.
Definitely. Well, all right. That was our 90s choice. Go ahead and take a look at any of those that you haven't seen.
Especially the X-Files.
Sure.
Hard sell.
But now let's just get into some random content that we've been watching. Jelly, what's something recent that you've been watching or just getting a look at?
Bro, the X-Files. No, so I've been doing 90s music after the Daft Punk split. I've just revisited their entire works. So I've been cruising through Daft Punk, and granted they have 2000 stuff as well, but some of their 90s stuff is their best stuff. That and the 2001 album probably my favorite. So I've just been enjoying some Daft Punk, some electronic house, EDM, I don't know what you want to call it, but dance music, and it's been fantastic. I work at a job that I don't need to turn my brain on for, so it's really nice to be able to just throw some headphones in and I can just bop around for 8 hours vacuuming and scrubbing toilets and stuff.
There you go. Yeah, I never listened to Daft Punk. What about you, Shareef?
Yeah, I've actually been doing a lot of music as well. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I've been in bit of a New Jersey state of mind. So I've been listening to a lot of the Fugees because
nice.
Lauryn Hill is from Jersey, and Wyclef spent a lot of time in Jersey as well. And it is the 25th anniversary of The Score, which is nuts. Which which is a huge album. When it came out, it was not only the biggest hip hop album, it was the biggest album. It was one of those few. At that time, a lot of hip hop was not played on like quote unquote mainstream like radio stations. Like it was only on the quote unquote urban stations. But the score was played everywhere. It's played on like all the pop stations, it hit all the Billboard charts for there was rapping, there was R&B, there was a mix, there was like reggae stuff. So it kind of had like all that. So I've been listening to a lot of the Fugees, and getting back in that zone because like that came out when I was in like high school, and they were already a group I was somewhat familiar with because like they had a lot of like underground hits in like the New Jersey and the New York in the metro area, but the score was like their major like big mainstream hit, and then that launched the careers of Lauryn Hill and Wyclef, and changed music really.
Yeah, I mean, undisputedly, some of the best vocals. Lauryn Hill is phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. Her voice is beautiful, super rich tone. And then Wyclef Jean.
Yeah, John. Yeah.
John, yeah. I mean, became arguably bigger after that. I feel like Lauryn Hill was really big with the Fugees, and I can't remember anything separate.
She had her solo album, like, I mean, she got a Grammy for it, she was definitely very huge with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but she only dropped one album and like a live album, and then that was it.
Okay, so that's why Wyclef is more prominent in my brain then.
Yes.
Doesn't help that I'm a little younger.
Yeah, and they did have a third member, Praz, but he's kind of not as heralded. Like he, just was kind of in the shadow of these two like major stars. So,
all right,
I'm gonna have to listen to both because my mind's blank right now as you guys are talking about all this. To be honest,
I mean, if I don't know, like it would be hard to get through like. Be hard to get through 1996 and not hear at least 3 songs from the Fugees because they were all literally in rotation on every radio station known to.
Killing Me Softly, Ready or Not, and it's another big one. Fine. I can't think of another big one.
Those were the biggest singles. How Many Mics was a single as well, but. But like those were like the biggest ones, Ready Me Not and like Killing Me Softly, the Roberta Flack, the remake of that.
So good.
Really, really huge.
Jelly, let's give our listeners a little sneak peek into last time's the 90s now. Have you been continuing Walker at all, or?
I will continue to watch it. So far, they have not raised the bar. It's staying right there, just hovering above 0. Because if it was at 0, I wouldn't be watching it. I'm thinking we're at like 0.25, maybe 0.5. I really like Jared Padalecki. He's not a great walker, but I really like him. The female in it, whose name I'm completely blanking on. Mickey, but that's it. So Mickey, she's great as an actress. She's killing it. They're giving her weird things, but I don't know. It's a show, and it's Walker, so I'm going to keep watching it.
All right.
I'm going to hope that it gets better eventually. That's where I'm at with Walker. So far, they've not come up off the ground.
I'm so scared to watch that. I watched all 15 seasons of Supernatural. Like, I love that show.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But, like, when I heard that he was doing this, I was like, no, that is not going to work. And I haven't watched it because I'm scared that it's going to be really bad and it's going to sour my view of Jared. So
we watched the first episode and it wasn't that great.
If you go in with no expectations and if you don't call it Walker Texas Ranger or Walker and you don't associate it with Walker Texas Ranger, you've got a solid CW drama.
Okay.
But if you associate it with Walker Texas Ranger and you call the guy Cordell Walker and you make a Walker reboot
and don't have a roundhouse kick
and you don't not even that, if you don't have anything from the original series, you're going to fall on your face. And that's what they've done. They took the original series ripped up all of it, said, nah, we're just going to take this name Cordell Walker, changed his backstory, changed his family story, changed his partner, changed almost everything about it, and gave us something completely not Walker, Texas Ranger. But again, if you have the ability to disassociate this from any of that,
Shareef says you don't.
I don't.
You could watch it as a CW drama.
I mean, but it's their fault. Like they've been marketing, like all you like it's their marketing and positioning and everything. Like I can't disassociate it now.
Yeah. It is their fault. I agree with you 100%. They freaking had the big Ranger badge with Walker in it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now. They messed up. We'll see if it gets a second season. I have a feeling it won't. Hot off the press.
CW seems to give shows at least 2-3 seasons usually, from what I've seen. So
we'll see. This is not rated highly, even among their viewers.
Yeah. Well, I have been watching some movies recently and catch up on some of the newer films. HBO Max. I watched The Little Things, which was a crime drama. Jared Leto was awesome in that. So was Denzel Washington. And then the guy from iRobot. I forget it's not iRobot, it's Mr. Robot, right? Forget his name.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, yes, Rami Malek.
There we go.
Plays Freddie Mercury too.
And I actually thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It kept you on your toes. It was definitely a little bit slow in some parts, but ultimately, like, you just really didn't know who done did it. And you know, at the end of the film, I won't spoil anything, but you know, it's a really good ending. So. Man, I was talking to a buddy of mine and he didn't really like the movie, and I was like, man, I was enthralled by the movie. I was sitting in my seat. I was on the tip of my toes. I was at the edge. I was enjoying it thoroughly. So I definitely recommend it if you have access to it. And also I did catch Judas and the Black Messiah as well on HBO Max, and what a powerful movie. I couldn't recommend it enough. Fantastically acted. The story is about Fred Hampton, who was the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago, and just the struggles that ensued with that, with the FBI, with the local authorities, just based on a true story. Like I said, it's a very powerful movie, and unfortunately, it doesn't have a happy ending. So go in there prepared for that. But yeah, very, very powerful. Shareef, did you catch that movie?
I've not seen it yet. Usually for those kind of movies, I have to be in like the right mental space, because those movies are very hard for me to watch.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the story. I grew up learning about Black Panthers. Like my family, participated in that kind of stuff. So I grew up doing that. There was a Black Panther movie that came out in 1995 that I remember was like a huge deal that I watched. So hearing how good it is and knowing how good of an actor that Daniel Kaluuya is, I'm like, I know this is going to be super emotional and super thing. So I have to be like in the right mood to watch it. So I haven't watched it yet. I definitely will, but I know how. I just know how I react to those, and it can literally leave me broken for days.
Yeah,
so I gotta be good.
And it did me as well. Just kind of the emotions behind it. Just kind of putting myself in certain people's shoes within that movie, and it really. I don't want to say hits home because I'm not a black man, but it's kind of that same sentiment, especially relative to the times that we're in now, obviously. So, powerful movie. Definitely recommend going to watch it. And My final movie that I watched was Knives Out. I hadn't seen it back when it came out in 2019, maybe 2018, something like that. But
I think it was 2018.
A long time ago, and I've been really wanting to catch it. Saw that it was on Amazon Prime, and boy, was that a fun movie to go through. Daniel Craig and his accent, like, where did he get that from? Just like he should get an Oscar for that role. Like he was just in it, and it was a great movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the whodunit movies, like Clue from the 80s is one of my favorite movies of all time. I want to catch the new iteration of Murder on Oriental Express. I want to watch that. I haven't caught that either. But yeah, the Knives Out was brilliant. It was funny at times. It had some really good like just scenic humor. It wasn't necessarily like one-liners or anything like that. It was just the way that it was acted that just made it super funny. And then Daniel Craig just stole that show, man. It was a great movie. Great movie.
Wasn't there another recent whodunit one with a female lead, and she's like game night? Was that what it was called?
Game Night. Game Night was with Jason Bateman and what's her name? Rachel. I can't even remember. Game Night was really fun too. I like that movie a lot as well.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not thinking Game Night. Which one am I thinking?
I was thinking about Game Night, like that Will Ferrell. Was that movie where he like ran a casino or something in his house? I thought that was Game Night, but
no, Game Night is Jason Bateman and his wife. They like
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah,
Rachel McAdams. There we go. They're having a board game night, and then somebody just dies, and then it becomes like a murder mystery, like Run from the Cops type thing, and it's like, basically how crazy a game night can get.
Oh wow! I gotta check this out.
Game Night is a great movie. I really enjoyed it. So, anything else you guys want to talk about that you've been watching, listening, reading?
If it's new stuff, yeah. So I've been watching Batwoman. So I've been a big fan of all the Arrowverse like CW shows over the years. Flash,
huge Flash fan. Yeah, so good.
Arrow. But Batwoman, I never really watched a lot of. I watched half of the season, half the first season, to prepare for like the last crossover that they did. Because every year they do like a big crossover event where all that shows go. But I finished this season, which had to end early, because of COVID and stuff. And I remember hearing that they recast Batwoman for the second season. So I watched the first episode of the second season with this new Batwoman, and I'm not really feeling it yet. I loved
Ruby Rose,
the first season. Yeah, so it might take a couple episodes for her to grow on me.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping so, because I think they're on like maybe episode 5 or 6 of this season so far. So hopefully she grows on me. But that first episode did not do a lot to sell it to me.
I heard some good things about the Superman and Lois show that they just aired. The new Superman show. So yeah, CW shows, man, they just started coming out with so many of them, and then like 45 minutes an episode, and you got like 5 nights a week that they're airing. Like I got so far behind, and just never caught up. And I used to be an avid Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow watcher. Right. And I just having kids just never got the time back, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
I
whole other
watched
thing. Yeah.
most of the Flash. I'm not current with it, but I think I'm through season 6. I want to say.
Okay, that's pretty current.
It's close.
Getting close.
You're pretty in there.
But I watched all but the last season of Arrow because I have this thing about finishing television shows, so I stopped watching on purpose, which may or may not be a good thing. But that's what I like to do with them. And then I gave up on Legends of Tomorrow probably quicker than most. I gave it 2 seasons, I think, or season and a half, and then I was like, not really for me. They did something weird, and then they recast it, and then it was like
They did some weird.
I
All
will,
right, I'm out.
I will send you some. There are some cool episodes. I'll send you a list. There are some cool episodes that involve some characters from Arrowverse and Flash that kind of cross over into
The
the
crossover
show.
ones. I think I watched most of the crossover ones, even after I stopped watching, because they were like crossover event. And I was like, okay.
Oh no! No! I don't mean like the
Even
big
just
crossover
cameos.
shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like you know, like
okay.
the like same way how like Sarah, you know, went from Arrow to Legends of Tomorrow. There's like
Yeah.
other characters that they moved from their shows. Like it's almost like this dumping ground for
Oh, no.
characters that leave other shows. So
Yeah.
like there are some cool episodes that like you're like, oh yeah, I remember that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, send me some good ones and I'll tune in for them. But yeah, I gave up on it rather
There's
rather
just so
quickly,
much.
sadly.
So much.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
And then you add Batwoman to the fold, and you know it's because like she's in the Arrowverse too, right? And now
Yep.
you have the Superman and Lois show. I know Arrow just got done, but you still got Flash going on, Legends of Tomorrow going on. Man, there's just a lot of
Yeah.
stuff happening
And
in the CW.
And there's another show that I forgot even came out, Stargirl.
Yeah.
It was also a show with a full season. I was like, when did this come out? Like, yeah.
Is Black Lightning in the verse as well, or was
It
he
was.
separate?
So the show is kind of separated. He was in the crossover event.
Yeah.
So they kind of brought him in on a limited, like from another universe and put him
Okay.
back. So there's not a lot of like, there's some crossover.
Gotcha.
Like when Supergirl was on CBS or
Oh yeah,
whatever,
they
and
have
they brought her in.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
They
and
did. They got the
Supergirl.
rights to Supergirl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
After its first season,
Supergirl
it switched
was
over to
fun, too.
CW.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, hey, listeners, we got a lot of stuff that we chatted about, but some good stuff as well. So take a look at any of those if you have access to them. We really enjoying some content recently. So just a little heads up for our 90s Now segment. Next episode, I believe we should be doing it on the new Mighty Ducks show coming to Disney Plus. So again, if you guys are new, we did it for the first time last week. 90s Now is when we take 90s property that has been rebooted, such as Walker, like we talked about earlier, and we review it and talk about it. So next episode should be the Mighty Ducks new iteration on Disney Plus. So stay tuned for that. But now it is time. Shareef, you ready for some 90s trivia?
Of course I am.
I really hope that you get the answer right. But it is our 90s trivia time. So Jelly, you got the question and the answer. You're blocking the answer though, so you can't see.
I'm blocking the answer. I can't see the answer.
Ooh.
So hit us with the question.
All right. We've been doing music, so Shareef, you and I should get this. Mike, I'm sorry. It's going to be harder for you.
Okay.
According to Right Said Fred's 1991 chart topper, what did Fred boast he was too sexy for?
Well, a lot of things. He said my car was one of them. He's also so sexy it hurts.
He is so sexy it hurts.
He's sexier than he said many things in this. Song.
Can you
I
give me
remember
a
car,
multiple
though.
choice?
There isn't a multiple choice on the card.
There is. You're blocking the answer or the multiple choice.
Well, I can't see it if it is, so I will not give you multiple choice. But I can most likely say that it rhymes with hurts
Too sexy for my
because
shirt.
he's too sexy for his shirt.
Shirt. Okay.
That's my guess.
That's my guess too, because that's what I was thinking automatically. So what are you
Shareef,
saying,
are you
Shareef?
going
What's
with
your question?
car?
What's your answer? Sorry.
Shirt, hat.
I mean, I don't think he said hat. He definitely said shirt and car in the song for sure. Like, so yeah.
You going with shirt then? Are you choosing shirt or
Yes.
car? Shirt. We're all choosing
I'll
shirt.
pick shirt.
The answer is his shirt.
There we go. We all
Why
got.
is there only one answer? I don't understand. Like, he literally says like 20 things in the song.
Are you Googling it?
No, I remember the song. Like, I remembered the song. It was a big
He
song.
says, too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my... And then yes, he just goes through... and
Like
lists a bunch of things.
every line is a different thing. Like, that's a bad question. That's a bad question.
Sounds bad. Yeah. I mean, the shirt is part of the chorus, though, right?
Blame this game.
No, so it's not like a hook. It's just like a. It just repeats the same line over and over with a different thing in it. Like it's kind of like a club song, basically. You know.
Also, Double or Nothing. Was anyone in the band actually named Fred? And I already saw this answer, so I cannot participate.
I would not know. I abstain. Plead the fifth.
I don't know either. I don't know.
You got a 50-50 on a guess, though.
Yeah. I will say no.
I'm going to say yes then.
Mike gets it. His name was Fred Fairbrass.
Awful name.
Now you know. The more you know.
Well, listeners, that was 90s trivia. I believe I have 2 right now, maybe 3.
2 points. Because we all missed last week.
And you have 2 points as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shareef, you got 1. So you're on the board.
I got 1. Yes.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Jelly, for joining. Thank you, Shareef. Shareef, we can find you at Shareef Jackson on all social media, as well as ShareefJackson.com, correct?
That's right.
All right. And then we'll try to link all his Twitch stuff down in the show notes. A lot of amazing things are going on with that. Go check out Rivals of Waterdeep and Kids on Bikes, right? And for your D&D fix, for your tabletop role-playing fix. Yeah, great cast. I've watched a little bit of the first episode of Kids on Bikes, so it's really good stuff. So definitely go check that out. We'll link it down in the description. Well, gentlemen, you good to get out of here?
I'm great, dude. That was fun.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah, Shareef, thanks for joining again. My name is Mike. That's Jelly. That's Shareef, and we're out.
Later.
Bye.